How's it going, everyone? It's Harvey from Weather Sponge 5000, and in this video we're going to focus on the next major severe weather threat that's expected to impact the Northeast later today, as well as the next major severe weather threat that's expected to impact the Midwest later during the week. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. So to begin, let's first take a look at this next northeast severe weather threat, and if we were to continue to move forward into the 18-hour mark, we do see a trough moving through the northeast with some thunderstorm activity associated with it. And if you look behind the trough, we do see a pronounced jet stream dip where we're seeing that 540 millibar line move further southward, and that's creating just enough instability to where a lot of the northeast will experience their first major severe weather threat for the year for a lot of you guys. So this is definitely something you want to be prepared for. And the other thing, of course, that we're going to take a look at is this next major severe weather threat that is expected to be I think will become extremely impactful because during the midweek we will see some isolated severe thunder showers develop right around the Midwest, but I don't necessarily think they're gonna be an extreme or significant severe weather threat because there just isn't enough instability associated with these troughs moving through right around Tuesday to Wednesday time frame, because you see that a jet stream is still well further northward of the United States, and as a result we're not seeing as much instability. But that will change going into the late week, going into the weekend, because if we were to continue to move forward into Thursday, May 19th, we do see another trough move through the Pacific Northwest, and along with it, we see a lot of cold air behind it, where a lot of the higher elevations of the Cascades and further northward into British Columbia are experiencing snowfall, which shows that the temperatures are much cooler than average on the western side of this trough, and that cool air will dip southward into the Midwest over a already very warm area, and that's going to create just a lot of lift and a lot of buoyancy with the water vapor and the air molecules in the Midwest for our next major severe weather threat to occur. As I'd say it's likely at this point we're going to need to see how significant that jet stream dip will be. That will be key in determining how significant the severe weather threat will be, but it seems likely we're going to see quite a significant jet stream dip by this weekend, and that should create a major severe weather threat where large hail, damaging winds, and of course tornadoes are in the possibility. Now we still need to wait and see, depending on the amount of wind shear we see, if we're going to see a significant tornado threat out of this, because although there is a lot of instability, that does not mean that the upper level winds will have a major change in wind direction or wind speed with height. We need to see how strong that wind shear will be in the upper levels of the atmosphere to really determine if there will be a major severe weather threat, and we still need to narrow down how much convective available potential energy levels will be by this midweek, because that really determines how much lift there is in the atmosphere. But what I can tell you is that more likely than not, we will definitely experience a severe weather outbreak headed into this weekend. How significant will this be? As of right now, it seems like the GFS model and the European model are both leaning towards a significant severe weather threat to occur right around this weekend, through Friday and into Saturday. So it's suddenly something to keep in mind, especially for the month of May, which is a month that's known to bring some of the worst severe weather to the Midwest. So make sure to pay close attention to that. And what's interesting is that look at how much cold air there is behind this trough. We're seeing snow in the higher elevations of the Rocky Mountain ranges, which is very interesting. If I were to show you guys the convective available potential energy levels over the next several days, so if I were to show you today, look at the amount of convective available potential energy we see. We do see a lot of thunderstorms developing right around the Midwest, so that's something to keep in mind. But if I were to continue to move forward, you see that the convective available potential energy levels go way up right around this weekend. So it's suddenly something important to keep in mind throughout the Midwest, that there will likely be enough energy for a severe weather threat to occur. And into the Northeast, of course, we do still have that major severe weather threat. Let me show you guys actually the temperatures, really show you guys how much instability there will be in the atmosphere for tomorrow as well as later during the week, because I'll determine how much instability there will be. So if I were to show you guys the temperature along the surface, so let me show you the temperature anomaly. If I were to continue to move forward, you're going to see that there's going to be a stark contrast when it comes to temperature anomaly, where we do see temperatures well above average just to the east of this cold front, but cooler than average just to the west of it. And that's enough instability to where a major severe weather threat will occur. And then look at this next chart when we do. The temperature anomaly difference will be quite insane, to be honest, because we do see temperatures well below 20 degrees below average behind this next significant trough that's expected to move through this weekend. And just to the east of that, we see temperature anomalies well over 10, closer to 20 degrees above average. And that's just a strong amount of instability. That's just asking for a lot of lift in the atmosphere. So we need to wait and see how significant this jet stream dip will be. We'll need to determine how strong northerly winds will be. And we won't really narrow that down until this low pressure system actually makes landfall somewhere in the Pacific Northwest right around the Wednesday to Thursday time frame. But I'll make sure to update you guys regarding how much cold air will be located in the United States to really determine how significant this severe weather threat will be. But for Northeast, a severe weather threat is inevitable later today, so you need to prepare, as damaging winds and large hail will be the biggest issue. There might be an isolated tornado or two, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be the biggest threat associated with these thunderstorms in the Northeast. I think damaging winds will be the biggest threat, and large hail. But you see that there is still a decent amount of change in wind direction to where maybe an isolated tornado could form associated with one of these thunderstorms. So it's definitely something to keep in mind in the Northeast, that we do have significant jet stream dip that will induce severe weather threat later today. Now, if I were to show you guys the temperatures right now, we do see a strong amount of instability right around the Midwest, and that's expected to move eastward later today, where we will begin to see severe weather develop right around the Northeast. Now, you're probably wondering, how significant will this severe weather outbreak be? Well, if you're in eastern Pennsylvania, southern New York State, as well as the western portion of New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, as well as Virginia, you guys are under an enhanced risk of severe weather. So severe weather is pretty likely for you guys for later today. So you need to pay close attention to that. Slight just outside of it, where the instability might not necessarily be as strong as along coasts such as New York City and the Jersey coast, as well as Long Island. The chance does decrease because the Atlantic Ocean plays a big role in terms of stabilizing the atmosphere, which does slow down thunderstorms as they move closer and closer to the coast. But there's still that possibility of severe weather, so you need to pay close attention to that throughout the Northeast as well as the mid-Atlantic states. Now, let's take a look at the other days. Again, like I've been showing you guys, there is still a slight chance of severe weather over the next several days in the Midwest, associated with some troughs moving through. But none of these low pressure systems that are going to move through over the next few days will necessarily be considered a severe weather outbreak, because there just won't be enough instability. It's not until the 4 to 5 day mark where it does become a little bit more concerning, where we do currently have 15% chance of severe weather during those 2 days, but 15% when we're talking about forecasts that's 5 to 6 days out is quite high, and that could represent that the Storm Prediction Center is quite confident for severe weather for those days. But there's still uncertainty, so we need to still wait and see. But it seems likely a significant severe weather outbreak will occur by this weekend, so make sure to keep that in mind in terms of my forecast for today for the Northeast. So if you're in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia, you need to prepare for major severe weather today, as damaging winds and large hail will be the primary threat, as well as isolated tornadoes. And if you're in the Midwest, anywhere from Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, as well as Michigan, I'd say a significant severe weather threat associated with this trough that's going to move through during the late week is likely. So you need to pay close attention to that over the next several days, as I'll keep you guys posted regarding that next significant severe weather outbreak. Really all depends on how far south that jet stream dips to really determine the exact impacts you'll experience. But make sure to be aware of that in the Midwest at the very least. But anyways, guys, I thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. And I hope you guys have a great day.